Welcome to the Future Crop Files podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Douglas, and today I'm joined by Harish Varadharajan of Fragaria in Bengaluru, India. Harish, welcome.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for having me here. Looking forward to having this conversation.
It's my pleasure. I've been excited to talk about all things vertical farming and strawberries. So welcome. So before we get started, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your company?
Super. So I'll start with a quick introduction of me. Right. So I'm Harish, born and brought up in Chennai, southern part of India. Grew up in a humble background. Father was working in a bank. So studied chartered accountancy, which is CPA equivalent, company secretaryship, which is like the company law, and Bachelor of Commerce, all three together while working, right? So did a lot of studying and working in the 4 years from 17 to 21. Quickly post that worked with BCG, Boston Consulting Group. It's an American management consulting firm. It's a global management consulting now. So worked there for 6 years, 4 years in India, 2 years in Dubai. Post that, so I've been quite fascinated about agriculture. So I joined a startup called Pure Harvest in Middle East. Was founded by an American founder, Sky Kurtz. Spent there 2 years. Then moved to another startup called Smart Cas in Amsterdam. So they were growing lettuce indoors in Amsterdam and strawberry indoors in London. And this is my third startup or agri venture, which is Fragaria Fruits in India. Yeah. So my experience in agriculture is limited to the last 6 years, post which, so from accounting to management consulting to now agriculture. So that's pretty much me, yeah. And what does Fragaria Fruits do, right? So the aim of Fragaria Fruits is to create a fruit brand in India, more like, I would say, like a Driscoll's of India, where we are basically delivering high quality fruits 365 days a year. And it tastes the same every time you eat it, right? Like, this is, while for an American to hear this, it must be like, this is the no-brainer idea, right? But this concept doesn't exist in India, right? The fruit, every time you order from the same place, tastes different. It's a $114 billion market, but trust me, Ryan, like, the quality of fruits in India is absolute but terrible, right? So it is nowhere close to what it tastes globally, right? So that was the reason why we founded this. We started with strawberry. The aim is to enter into other berries, get into mangoes and grapes. Basically, all off-season crops, make it season-wide. And so that's pretty much what Fragaria Fruits does. And we started with strawberries. We are expanding to blueberries, raspberries, and hopefully in a couple of years we are looking at mangoes and grapes as well.
And the blueberries and blackberries, did you say?
Raspberries.
Blueberries and raspberries. And so those will be in a protected environment as well? Is that vertically farmed or outdoors?
No. So see, at the end of the day, we want to be a fruit brand that delivers quality fruits, right? And farming is a means to end, right? The type of farming is means to end, right? Like strawberry farming, we think vertical farming is the best way to do it in India, right? For blueberries and raspberries, we are doing it in polyhouse, right? Like more like a traditional way of how things happen, because we don't see a need to do a vertical farming there.
And so what? So you said the supply of strawberries is inconsistent. So the majority of strawberries for sale where you live, are they imported? Are they grown domestically? Can you give me an idea of what the market looks like?
Yeah. So let me give you a layout of the land of. It's going to be fascinating, right? You will not see this in any other country in the world. So India has a $1 billion strawberry market, right? But it's available only 3 months a year, right? So strawberry is available only in December, Jan and Feb, only 3 months a year. And the entire strawberries is serviced, 80% of the entire India strawberry is serviced from a single town called Mahabaleshwar, which is 4 hours from Mumbai, right? So whole of India eats strawberry produced from a single town, right? And while the people who close Mumbai gets the best of the strawberries, the rest of the country gets really, really average strawberry because the supply chain to reach Chennai or Mumbai or Delhi, India is a huge country, right? So to reach is not strong enough. So they harvest very early. So it is more like they optimize for shelf life over sweetness or flavor or whatever, right? So this is the 3 months of the year. First of all, 3 months of the year it's only is available, and even in that 3 months, the bricks of the strawberry available is 6 to 8, right? While, for example, like in US or UK, the minimum bricks you need to be qualified to be a supplier is 8 bricks, right? And you would know like a European tomato has a bricks of 6, right? So in some days, some of the strawberries you buy in India are as sweet as European tomatoes, right? So, so 3 months a year, this is the situation. The remaining 9 months, there are no strawberries in India, 0 strawberries. So people just don't eat strawberries. So why is that the case? Why is it not imported, right? So the Indian government allows import of strawberry legally from 2 countries only, Sri Lanka and Thailand, right? So far, no one knows what's the logic behind this, including the government, right? But you cannot legally import strawberries from anywhere else, right? Even if the Driscolls or American or the Dutch berries find their way, it's through, let's say, the non-legal market, right? So 9 months of the year, if we do vertical farming, we are the only producer in the whole of India, like in a $1 billion market, basically, right? So this is the overall context, and within that $1 billion, to give you an idea, India has 4 different countries, right? So India has different types of population groups. The India one, which is as rich as Singapore, or as rich as, let's say, some of the richest countries in the world, that is around 15 million people, right? If you take just the 15 million people, eat 300 grams of strawberries a year, right? If you take whole of China, not the top layer of China, whole of China, which is not a traditionally strawberry eating country, eats 3 kgs of strawberries a year.
Wow.
Right? So the potential is huge for strawberries in India.
All right, that's 10 times as much. So outside of the illegal market for strawberries, it's $1 billion market over the course of 90 days?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so obvious, with your experience, you and your team noticed that there's a real business opportunity. If you can produce
Correct.
strawberries that are flavorful and
Yeah.
not shipped from far away, you've got something special there. And so how long have you been selling strawberries for? How long have you been in production for?
So when we started this vertical farming, as you would know, was going through really tough times, right? Was not the most sought after sector or whatever, right? So when we started this, everyone was against it, and Indians didn't believe it. Like when we came and said we are going to grow strawberries in the cities, they were like, dude, like, did you smoke up something wrong in Netherlands, right? So, so we set up a really, really small farm. And second, we were also quite doubtful if Indians really eat that much amount of strawberries, right? Right, because it's not a natural fruit here. So we started with a really small farm in Chennai, very, very 150 not 150 meters square, 1,500 square feet farm. Where we're producing like 2 kgs per day, right? So in that, when we launched it, the reception was outstanding. Like we raised like a really small amount of money, like $150,000, put up this farm, got great reception. Then we ended up raising funds for $2 million. We put up the Bangalore farm, which is going to start production soon. So basically we've been selling it for 2 years, and we have received pre-orders worth $100 million, right? So, so now it is now we have to bridge the production and the market in the smartest way and the least dilutive way possible, so that we don't dilute too much of the company reaching there.
Wait, can you say that again? You've received pre-orders for how much?
100 million.
100 million US dollars?
Yeah. So 100 million is literally. Sorry. I'm getting it wrong here. 800 crores is. No, wait. So 1.8 crores. No, it's 100 million. Oh man, it's crazy. It is 100 million, right? So $100 million is literally nothing in India, right? It's If we are even making $100 million worth of fruits or strawberries in India, we are still considered like a nobody in the market. Imagine the market is $114 billion, right? So 100 million is literally nothing, right? So what we did, we took it to the major players where we are saying, okay, this is the strawberries we have. We can make this year round. What is the order that you can give? And the numbers we heard made us like almost faint, right? Like we were like, we didn't expect these numbers to come our way, right? So so that is the pre-orders which we received. So we have to now scale it up in the smartest way so that we don't dilute too much, and also we create like a good customer following as we scale up.
And so the new facility you're building, what's the production capacity? How big is that?
$1 million. Basically, it makes around 130 kgs a day. So it translates to around $1 million capability. So if everything goes well, we should do something terribly wrong to not be the world's first profitable vertical farm, right? So that's almost like by the end of the year we will be the world's first profitable vertical farm.
Wow. And so the answer might be obvious, but why indoor vertical farms and not greenhouse or hoop house production?
Super. So indoor, see, at the end of the day, this business is very simple, right? So how much money you put in, how much do you spend to make the strawberries, how much do you fetch the price, right? How much capex you put in, right? So Indian climate is, as it is, not suitable for strawberry production, and forget 365 days production. It is impossible to produce 365 days with a natural climate here. So the only way you can do this is through glasshouse or vertical farming, right? So the Dutch glasshouse is available at somewhere around $700 to $800 per linear meter, right? And the unit economics with a 40% return works if we make it at $400 per linear meter, right? So we made it a challenge to us. We have to build this at $400 per linear meter. Otherwise, we are fooling around here, right? So we ended up building vertical farm at half the price of a Dutch or an American greenhouse, right? So that we can basically make the unit economics work, right? So to give you context, the Western vertical farm, including the farm we built earlier, was $2,000 per linear meter. We built in India for $400, right? So that was basically the logic behind saying we will go with vertical farm. The reason why second, this is the number wise, right? If you get a glass house, if you get a vertical farm, if you're getting at 50% cost, why not do vertical farm? Second is, within vertical farm, the agriculture talent in India is absolutely bad, right? Like while India produces great engineers, like great doctors, like the agriculture, it's almost looked down upon. Only people who fail in life take up agriculture in India, right? That is the truth, right? A lot of family members ask, like, dude, like, is everything going well with your life? Why would you pick up farming, right? Like, right? So it is literally looked down upon, right? Like, so people who take up farming, the talent is high-tech farming is absolutely zero. Like, we are basically picking up people and training them from scratch, right? So we have to make this as much as factory as possible. We cannot let people think inside the farm, right? We want to put the recipe to the last level where people are just coming and making it working like a Toyota factory. Like, they're not thinking too much while running this farm. So this was basically, in greenhouse, you have to manage like a semi-closed greenhouse. You have to manage the glass house quite on a day-to-day basis. Here, the grower sits in anywhere in the world, sets the settings, and the farm is just running, right? So that was the reason why we chose vertical farm and India as the base.
So you're breaking a lot of preconceived notions, right? I mean, for one, that strawberries can be grown locally and indoors profitably, and that agriculture, horticulture, can be a very profitable and respectable profession.
100%.
So you're doing a lot more than just cultivating strawberries when you think about it, huh?
100%, especially in India, right? Like, India in farming is, so globally, the notion is vertical farming doesn't make sense, right? So by the end of the year, we will definitely prove that that's not the case, right? Like we can make this happen if you choose the right geography and the right product, right? Second is, in India, what I would really like is at the end of this journey, or hopefully at the end of my journey, there are at least like 100 high-tech farmers coming out of India who are employable anywhere in the world, right? So because at this stage, the state of agriculture in India is just going backwards, right? It's going nowhere, right? So that is again would be something which would be like, personally I would be very happy with if we end up with 100 high-tech farmers. Yeah.
And so farming is going backwards because it's looked down upon as like a last resort. And I assume, are you importing a lot of what's consumed in the country?
So what is happening now, and what I mean by it's going backwards is, if I'm a farmer, right? I have a couple of acres of land. I can make maximum $1,000 per year, right? Right. So if I'm making $1,000 per year, I would rather choose a crop where government guarantees a price than where I can play around with the market, right? Like where I have to depend on the market to know the price. So what ends up happening is lot of farmers end up cultivating only where the government guarantees the price, and which ends up being paddy, which is rice, which second is sugarcane, which is of course sugar, and third is wheat, which is used for the rotis or whatever, right? So if I'm a farmer, small holding farmer, I just end up doing these three, right? And second is, while China and other countries are modernizing their agriculture with different types of seeds, or the latest seeds which are available, latest fertilizers, manures available, those are being restricted without any research, right? Like just by hearsay, like cotton, like things like that, right? The latest seeds never reach India, right? And to give you an idea, India is not part of the union where it protects the breeders for the royalty rights for the plants, right? So none of the exciting varieties in the world never reach India. So we are either working with varieties which are 20 years old, or those which are rejected by the rest of the world, right? And why is this not becoming a bigger issue? Because the smart people or the ambitious people don't enter this field, right? People enter the farming field only because they have no other choice left in their lives, right?
Interesting. So it's one thing to identify an opportunity, but it's another thing to do it successfully. So I'm wondering, maybe you could just speak about maybe one or two challenges that you and your team have encountered in trying to grow strawberries indoors in a vertical farm, and kind of how you overcame that.
There's even still a lot of challenges, right? So there's still a lot of challenges which we are still figuring out how to overcome, right? So first is the quality of plants in India, right? We have to import plants from Netherlands or US or Egypt or wherever, right? And the import process is so heavy that the quality of plants we receive at the end of the day is quite ordinary. Like it's not the best quality you will receive in the rest of the world, right? So we are figuring it out through tissue culture. We are basically trying to create our own plants so that we don't have to depend on others to make these plants, right? But that is still work in progress. It doesn't happen in a year. We have to wait for 2-3 years to see how that evolves. So that is one. Second is pollination. Like bumblebees is not allowed in India, so we haven't been able to crack pollination through bees like Oishi or other companies in the world does. So we have to do manual pollination, right? So which is very, very painful and not costly, but it's painful, and you don't know how efficient it is, right? So these are two things. And third is also, of course, India is, when it comes to the government, whatever the government is involved in, it becomes a big challenge, right? Like approvals or under the table money or whatever, right? So those, of course, I cannot sit and solve, but if we become big enough, I think those will become much lesser and much easier over the course of time. So there's like, you can list a lot of challenges while implementing this. And fourth is like, as per Indian law, we don't fall anywhere. We don't fall under agriculture. We don't fall under industry. We don't like they're confused where to categorize us, right? So it becomes a real challenge. Every topic we have to figure out where we fall under, like what is the rule which apply to us and other things. So there are like several challenges. Thanks to my co-founders, like they're quite patient with the challenge. While it is quite fast and easy to do things in India, there are still very much high challenges which we have to like weigh out between the two. Yeah.
So you've got obstacles from a agricultural standpoint, and then you've got obstacles that are outside of your control from a government standpoint. But on the other side of that, you've got $100 million in pre-orders.
Exactly. So that's how you see it. So that's how I explain to my co-founders, right? So it's a country where you can do things real fast. It's a country which has crazy demand. If people love your product, things are going to go like beyond your imagination, but it comes with its own set of challenges.
Wow, this is great, Harish. This has been fascinating speaking with you. I'm really excited for the journey you're on. If anyone's interested in learning more about Fragaria or speaking to you directly about farming strawberries indoors, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So through LinkedIn, and I'm available on email and phone. I would love to share that as well as part of this podcast. Like, very happy to reach out, and hopefully when we scale up, we want to get the best strawberry growers in the world to move to India to work with us. So I keep if you're interested about huge markets, new market where we can implement your expertise, please reach out. We'd love to host you in our next farm.
All right, excellent. I'll go ahead and put your contact details in the show notes, okay?
Awesome, 100%.
Okay, Harish, thanks so much for joining us today. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks a lot.